Hello, everyone. I invite you to join me as we go over the chronological events from Palm Sunday up until this moment. This is considered a Holy Week. Today is Holy Thursday. I will be quoting scriptures if you would like to note these as we go along. I will be referring to my notes so that I don't miss anything that I plan to share with you today. On Sunday, we celebrated Palm Sunday, when Jesus triumphantly entered Jerusalem as king. This was prophesied in the Old Testament by the prophet Zechariah, and you can read this in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. I remember those little cross-shaped palms we received in church on Palm Sunday when I was a little girl. And then the rest of the year, we use those palms as Bible bookmarks. Remember? Our takeaway from Palm Sunday is to celebrate Jesus as our King. He is Jesus of Nazareth, who has come in the name of the Lord, and he is the King of Kings. Then we move to Holy Monday. That was the day when Jesus cleansed the temple. And I say this with fear and trembling, not judgment, but Jesus is exposing sin in the temple still today. Deception is being revealed, and he is not going to stop cleaning house. This account can be found in Luke chapter 19, verse 40. My heart breaks when I hear story after story, and I often wonder, where is the fear of God? Our takeaway from Holy Monday is to allow Jesus to clean us, for we are his temple, to keep us pure and holy. Repent of any sin, confess it to Jesus, and ask him to cleanse you. Then we moved to Holy Tuesday. Jesus was still about his Father's business, teaching parables, sharing about the end times. Jesus knew he would soon be leaving this earth, and he seized every opportunity to establish a relationship with us, an eternal relationship, in order for us to be ready when he comes back again. You can read this account in Luke chapters 20 and 21. What is your takeaway from Holy Tuesday? My prayer for us is that we would be found waiting and watching when Jesus comes again. And then we had Holy Wednesday. There is no biblical account of what Jesus did on this day. He could have possibly rested. However, his enemies were on the loose, plotting how they might seize him. My takeaway from Holy Wednesday is to take time to rest, even when your enemies are plotting your downfall. Jesus keeps writing your story, and he knows the end from the beginning. And today is Holy Thursday. The time is now growing intense for Jesus because he knew what was coming. Jesus celebrated the Passover, which we also call the Lord's Supper or the Last Supper. He prayed in Gethsemane and then gets betrayed by one of his own disciples, Judas. You can read this account in Luke chapter 22. There is one portion of an event not mentioned in the other Gospels, except the Gospel of John, chapter 13 and verse 17. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Jesus demonstrated humility in this moment. This was an act of servanthood. He knew he was going to be betrayed. His betrayer was in the room, and yet he chose to wash the feet of Judas. This act was a foreshadow of what he was about to do for you and me on the cross. Let's pause here for a moment. Have you ever felt betrayed? Have you ever been betrayed? How would you treat the person you knew was going to betray you? What does justice look like for you? Some of us may even feel like Judas, who betrayed Jesus, or Peter, who denied Jesus. I encourage you to think about your answer to these questions, just like I have, even as we get ready to step into Good Friday. My prayer is that you would respond the way Jesus did. Extend mercy and grace, not just one time, but over and over again. Just like he washed their feet from dirt and dust, he cleanses our hearts from sin and shame. The soul of the person who betrayed you is of utmost importance than your thoughts of revenge or justice. The cross has the final word. May we follow Jesus' example of humility. Remember, every situation we face here on earth, Jesus is the answer. Who can you demonstrate humility to today? Who should you extend grace to? If one person crossed your mind when I asked that question, I encourage you to go ahead and extend humility, show grace, because the cross has the final word. Please don't allow unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment to come in the way of their salvation. My